I'm so amped today.
Deep dive.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Sin City Crypto. We're coming at you today from Global Studios here in Las Vegas, Nevada. My name is Carl. I'm your producer and one of your co-hosts, and I'm here today with my good friends David and Robin. We have some exciting crypto content coming your way, but before we get started, a small disclaimer. We are not financial experts. Anything that we say during the course of this video should not be taken as financial advice. Do your own research before you invest. And now that's out of the way, let's meet our host. Hi, Robin.
Hola! It's your boy Big Rob back in the house. If this is your first time checking us out, I'm Big Rob. A little bit about us here. We are entertainment-focused cryptocurrency channel. We take the old, boring, stale information, package it up in a fun and sexy way, kind of like the UPS man does. Now, I'd like to give a shout out to our media partners Global, who broadcast us out not to just YouTube, but other channels as well. And here at Sin City Crypto, we do deep dives. We do live streams. This is our deep dive. Check out the live streams, 11 a.m., baby.
David.
What's up? Please don't.
I am amped up. Welcome back, Crypto fam, to Sin City Crypto. We are a growing channel. We'd love for you to grow with us. Help us out. Like the video. Share the video. Tag your friends in the video. Watch the video. Like the video. But most importantly, hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell notification so you know when we're going live and when we're going deep. Back to you, Carl.
That's right. Our host did mention a little bit of our live streams we do every day, Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. But this video is something we like to call...
We need to get this man a new outfit, man. Why is he wearing the same thing every time?
He must be tired.
Yeah.
But today, we're amped. So we're going to cover AMP. It's a deep dive video into AMP. So let's get to it.
Yes, I am amped for AMP. Can we get an AMP chant going here? AMP. Yeah, how about that chant go? Anyways,
Yeah, I don't know.
if you're not familiar with AMP, make sure you watch this video in its entirety so you can get the information you need to see whether you want to invest in this project or not. So let's start it right off. A little bit of history about AMP. What AMP is, it's a universal collateral ERC20, which is an Ethereum-based token designed to facilitate fast and efficient transfers for any real-world application.
English.
Payments.
Cool.
Yeah, settling payments. The creators of AMP are the same team that created Flexa, the main guy being Tyler Spalding. Now, Tyler's background is extremely impressive. Some of the things he's done, he has an MBA from both Harvard School of Business and MIT. He's worked as a researcher for NASA and as a senior engineer at Lockheed Martin. He's been in the crypto space since 2011, and he launched Flexa in February of 2018. Now, a little bit, the reason I mentioned Flexa is because you can think of AMP as a fork of Flexa. Flexa was very popular, but they needed to make some upgrades to introduce new functionalities that weren't possible with the Flexa code, so they created AMP. Now,
Flexa code was closed source.
it was, so...
And this one's open source. So
Absolutely. So,
transparency.
closed source, can't really make any changes to it, so they created AMP. Keep in mind, even though they operate under the same platform, AMP and Flexa are two different technologies, okay? Now, AMP was introduced in July of 2020. The token holders of Flexa were able to do a one-to-one token swap. So if you had 100 Flexa tokens, you were able to exchange that for 100 AMP tokens. Now, let's talk about the most important thing that comes with a project or token is its utility. Now, AMP touts itself as a digital collateral token to enable immediate settlement of payment transactions. Now I'm going to read a quote from their website that will explain everything they do. Quote, when using AMP as collateral, transfers of value are guaranteed and can settle instantly. While the underlying asset reaches final settlement, a process can take anywhere from seconds to days. AMP is held in escrow by a collateral manager. Once the transaction successfully settles, the AMP collateral is released and made available to collateralize other transfers. So I'm going to give you a real world example. Say you go into one of the 40,000 retailers that are part of the Flexa network and you would like to pay for your cup of coffee with one of your crypto assets. Your app on your phone will generate a one-time QR code that the merchant at your coffee store can scan to facilitate the payment. Once the code is scanned, your AMP collateral is taken from your wallet and put into what they call an escrow account. That's sitting there waiting for your transactions to be fully verified by the blockchain. On the other hand, the merchant who took your payment is instantly paid in their preferred fiat method. So they don't have to worry about, oh, well, I don't really want your AMP token, or I don't really want Bitcoin or Ethereum. They can get paid in whatever fiat currency they want to, using a centralized exchange such as Coinbase or Gemini. Now, once your transaction on the blockchain is cleared, your AMP tokens that you put up as collateral to the escrow account is returned to your wallet, and now you can go ahead and use those same AMP tokens as collateral for your next purchase. Now, you might have some questions. Well, what if during that time that the process is transacting, what if the market tanks, right? We know how volatile the crypto market is. We literally watched Bitcoin drop $8,000 in 20 minutes. What if that happens? Well, your AMP collateral is always worth more than the transaction you're trying to make, protecting the merchant from a loss. So if your transaction is going to cost $2, you'll have to put up $3 worth of AMP for collateral. It gives a 50% margin of error as far as if the market decides to tank in that 10, 15, 20 minutes, however long it takes for the blockchain to verify your transaction. Another question you might have is, well, what if the transaction fails? The AMP you put up as collateral gets immediately liquidated to cover the merchant payments, giving the merchant 100% peace of mind that if for some reason the blockchain doesn't verify your transaction, the merchant will never lose a single dime. So it is essentially a universal clearing layer for digital assets.
So for me, just to basically summarize what Dave has said, but in more of a simplistic form and
in
summation. So if you're a merchant, if you're using Visa as payment, you have to you get the transaction goes through, it's approved, then you have to wait on the back end just to make sure it settles. So let's just say you dispute the charges, whatever. There's a risk involved, even with the current system. With AMP, it basically guarantees the deliverance of the transaction once it's finalized, which is in seconds. So if you're going to compare it first to cryptocurrency, you do have to wait for the settlement. So let's say you use a Lightning network, you pay, you have to wait X amount of time for the process to go through. And then all the while, no matter how you use these payments, there's always a chance that something could get rolled back, something that you don't have to worry about when it transfers over to regular currency. And what you said earlier, I want to emphasize this. They use Gemini and Coinbase as their liquidity providers for the payment transaction to go to fiat. So there is no doubt in my mind that when you make the transaction, you're not going to, the merchant, he knows it's going to, Coinbase is going to give you the value in cash.
Yeah.
And then the cool part is that if you're using, if you're an American and you're overseas and you use it as you pay in dollars, or even a stable coin like Tether, the merchant on the other end, if they use yen like they're in Japan, they can automatically convert that to theirs, to their desired.
Well, Coinbase or Gemini will automatically convert it to whatever fiat they want.
Yeah, that's
the merchant doesn't have to take any extra steps. If they want to get paid in the stable coin, they can. If they want to get paid in AMP, they can. But if they just want fiat, whatever fiat they want that's supported, they can get paid in that.
And there's only 1% transaction fee for the merchant. So compared to Visa, which is between 2 and 5%,
Amex is even more.
Amex is between 3.5 to 6%. So it keeps the money where it should be into small businesses, and
on top of that,
middleman.
On top of that, with lower transaction fees that the merchant has to pay, they can pass those savings on to their consumers.
Mm-hmm.
So now, if you go into a store that accepts, digital payments like AMP, you might pay less money for a product you want to buy versus going to a store that doesn't. So it's another incentive for more merchants to come on the platform and join AMP and Flexa and allowing people to pay with more than just fiat.
Yeah, they bake those prices. Those credit card fees, they bake those into the cost of goods.
Yep.
So it has to be accountable. So at the end of the day, theoretically, it should lower the prices of goods if that's the main form of payment for the institution. So.
Yep. Another utility of AMP is staking. Now, if you do stake some AMP, obviously you can use that as collateral. But another thing, you are able to get a pro rata share of the transaction fees that are paid. So if you're staking AMP, you can not only use it as collateral, but you can actually make money from the transaction fees that people pay. So there you go. Now let's get into some partnerships. AMP has a ton of partnerships in their ecosystem that allows for avenues to use and earn AMP, including Coinbase, Gemini, the two Robin mentioned, Uniswap, Loopring, Crypto.com, and that's literally just the tip of the iceberg. Another thing to keep in mind is the Flexa network, which AMP operates under, has over 40,000 merchants and retailers that are already on board in the US and Canada combined.
And more to come.
More to come. It's only a matter of time. Let's get into some of my favorite. We'll talk a little bit about tokenomics. There is a total supply of 99.2 billion AMP tokens, with 42.28 billion of those being currently in circulation. The token breakdown is as follows. 25% of the tokens were set aside for the Merchant Development Fund. 25% were for developer grants. 20% went to the company's founders and employees. 20% was sold during Flexa's 3 token sales, and 10% has been set aside for Network Development Fund. I'm going to send it to Robin. He's going to pull up CoinMarketCap. He's going to go over the price, market cap, all the price action, all the fun stuff. Take it away, Rob.
I just want to say that the tokenomics are pretty solid for this project.
Very solid.
It's a pretty good distribution. Nothing that is, no red flags. Now, with AMP, currently at filming December 16th, we're sitting at just over 4 cents. Now, AMP is one of the leaders, if not the leader in this space. And so they're in the top 100 as far as the market cap, sitting at number 64 at the moment. Now, as he mentioned, the market cap sitting at $2 billion. And the circulating supply is at 46% right now, with 42 billion AMP in circulation. So it's actually a pretty good number. Like to see it around 50% or more. So pretty close to that. That's pretty favorable. Looking at the price action here, this is our 1 month chart. So a couple of things to take away here. Here in November, this is when we had our pump right before our dip. So it's kind of following the market trend as far as the more recent times. Looking at the 1 year chart, and we do have obviously the inception or when it first came to roll out a year ago. You could have picked it up at half a cent basically. Either way, those times are gone. So now we are in the more modern time here. Let's take a look where the support is. As you can see here.
Can I add something, Robin? A lot of ICOs or a lot of tokens that are newly launched, they have this big spike to begin, and then it's a literal drop off and it doesn't recover for a while. If you go back to Robin's computer and show the chart, Carl.
Well, you got to think a lot of it comes because it was a fork. So it wasn't a release. So it was a 1-for-1 exchange. So it wasn't that they released the token. So when you have a fork, you're going to have a different chart.
It's still a new project. And typically people with new projects that came in on the ICO or whatever the case may be, they'll dump and it'll stay under the all-time high that you usually got during its inception. This one kind of shot up, came back down, but it's above its inception price.
So you can see here, going back at least 5 months, this has very strong support at 4 cents. We've touched 4 cents at 3 different times, and sitting right now at 4 cents and an 8 afterwards. Not bad at all. It's in my opinion, it's a great time to enter. You've been as high as 7 cents in the last couple months, with all-time high reaching 11 cents. So
12 cents, June 15th, 2021. Cents? Yep.
Okay. Well, so definitely think it's if you're looking to get into the project, it's definitely a good time. In my opinion, obviously,
Not financial advice.
with us at this current filming, we are in a bearish trend. Hopefully, not a bear market, so just a bearish trend. So, be on the safe side. Always use dollar cost averaging when entering into a new project, just to diversify your risk. Now, does have an amazing amount of liquidity. This is the textbook what you're looking for when you're looking for liquidity. And Coinbase #1 in volume here. We have Binance, the world's largest exchange, followed by Binance.us for our US residents. Gemini, Crypto.com. Obviously an Ethereum token, so you can transact this in any of the Ethereum dexes. And the list goes on and on. So
That's great.
definitely not an issue. So for me, great time to enter, great project, great utility, real world case, something that could go toe to toe with Visa. And it has the liquidity, it has partnerships. I don't see why you wouldn't at least put a small investment in this. Allocate a little bit of your portfolio. I think it's one of the safest bets in the top 100 right now. So, all right. Well, anything else you got there, David?
No, just to kind of wrap up this deep dive, I'm gonna touch a little bit about my opinion on the future of AMP and kind of to wrap everything up here. Me personally, I am extremely bullish on AMP. Operating under the Flexa network, it already has exposure to over 40,000 merchants in the US and Canada. They're paving the way for future utility of using your crypto assets to buy everyday goods and services. As the crypto markets evolve and become more mainstream, there is no reason to believe AMP won't be among the top payment processing applications available in the market to come, with more than $13.7 trillion being spent every quarter in just the USA alone. The future market cap is hard to predict, with the sky literally being the limit. If AMP can continue to onboard major retailers in the US and Canada and across the globe, this can easily be a $100 billion plus market cap project, which would put the price anywhere upwards of $2.30. It will take some time. I'm hoping sooner than later. If I were a betting man, I would say in the next 3 to 5 years, we'll really see if AMP takes the bull by the horns and is the leader of payment processing and using your crypto assets to buy everyday goods and services.
Hold on. Did you say $2.30?
It's yeah.
You're talking about what a 40 something X?
100 billion market cap, man.
Yeah. I mean,
it's a 50X.
Some lofty prediction there, but I mean,
Hey.
if they put a dent, if they put even a small dent into the Visa transaction infrastructure, yeah, I could see over $1 for sure. $2, I don't know about that, but yeah, dollar if it gets mass adoption.
My price targets are always based around market cap. So I look at the market cap. I look at the market cap of this competitors, whether it's in the crypto space or whether it's outside the crypto space. I get a market cap number, and then I divide that by the circulating amount of coins, and that's where I get my price target. It's not something I pull out of thin air.
Oh,
yeah, because the air is real thin.
that's right.
Anyways, that's all I got for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in again. Please, if you enjoy the content, like the video, share it with your friends, subscribe, help us out. We have a ton of people watching our videos, but the subscribers don't show it. Help us out. We're growing.
Yeah.
Grow with us.
We're a small little network. Can you help us out?
We're just a wee little baby. You need to feed us.